On November 14th, 2019, a 17-year-old girl named Wilma Andersson disappeared after a visit to her ex-boyfriend, Tishko Ahmed, in Uddevalla, Sweden. Wilma set out to retrieve her things after their breakup, but this would be the last time she would be seen alive. As the days ticked by, what detectives unearthed shook everyone right to the core. This is the haunting case of Wilma Andersson. Wilma Andersson was born to Linda and Marcus Andersson. However, due to family struggles and their divorce, Wilma found herself in a situation where she couldn't live with either parent. Despite this, her mother remained intricately involved in her life, while Wilma stayed with her sister, Emily. Described as a vibrant and future-minded girl by her mother, Wilma was also a sociable soul, surrounded by a bustling social circle that filled her days. She adored social media, frequently sharing snapshots of her life on Facebook and relished every opportunity to be captured in photographs, showcasing her innate creativity and indomitable spirit. At 15, Wilma crossed paths with a 20-year-old man named Tishko Ahmed Shabazz. In Sweden, the age of consent being 15 meant that despite the 5-year age gap between them, there were no legal barriers to their relationship. Wilma's mother harbored reservations about her daughter dating an older individual, but trusting her daughter's judgment, she reluctantly accepted her choice. Tishko, originally from Iraq, relocated to Sweden at 8, residing with his father and stepmother. Accounts from Tishko's friend depicted a school life marked by bullying, but as he matured, he developed an unwavering resolve, refusing to back down from any challenge he faced. He gained his Swedish citizenship in 2014 and eventually found employment in the care sector after completing his education. In 2018, Wilma and Tishko took a significant step, moving in together in Uddevalla, Sweden. Initially smooth as many, their relationship eventually shifted, taking a darker and more troubling turn. Tishko's demeanor grew increasingly controlling. The change didn't escape Wilma's mother, who had noticed her daughter's altered behavior over the 2 years spent with her boyfriend. Wilma frequently confided in her sister, Emily, about the turbulent relationship with Tishko. On November 14, 2019, while on the phone with Emily, Wilma revealed her intentions to end the relationship during her visit to Tishko's apartment to collect her belongings. She expressed her exhaustion with Tishko's incessant control over her life, dictating what she wore, where she went, who she talked to, and even her makeup. Feeling suffocated by his domineering and abusive behavior, she had had enough of all of these and simply just wanted it to end. Upon Tishko's return from work, Wilma ended the call, saying she had to go, possibly wanting to conclude what had brought her to Tishko's apartment. Little did her sister or any of her loved ones know that sadly, this would inexplicably mark the last time they would hear from her ever again. Later, Emily desperately tried to reach her sister, but the calls remained unanswered. On the following day, November 15th, Wilma had a dentist appointment, but she was a no-show. On November 17th, Wilma's concerned parents made their way to the apartment she shared with her boyfriend. After what felt like an eternity of knocking, the door finally creaked open, revealing Tishko. Linda, fraught with worry, questioned Tishko about Wilma's whereabouts. Observing his distant demeanor, she suspected he might have been under the influence, but she and her husband pressed on, determined for answers. Tishko admitted to the end of their relationship, claiming Wilma had departed after collecting her belongings. He claimed he was clueless about her current location and added that he didn't expect reconnecting with her anytime soon. They stepped inside the apartment, hoping to delve further into the situation by chatting a little bit more. Tishko recounted to Wilma's parents the evening's events. A heated argument ensued upon his return from work at around 5:30 p.m., which resulted to Wilma walking out of their relationship. Initially, her parents weren't overly alarmed, as Tishko and Wilma often had an unpredictable relationship which was on and off most of the time, primarily due to Tishko's behavior towards her. Meanwhile, Emily, deeply concerned, turned to Facebook, urgently seeking information about her missing sister. Her post detailed Wilma's disappearance since November 14th, emphasizing the lack of communication, a stark deviation from Wilma's habitual contact with her family. Emily described Wilma's physical appearance, highlighting her height of 165 centimeters tall, her dark hair with blonde highlights, and expressed the distress at her sudden disappearance, a departure from her usual behavior. The police sprung into action, filing a report, and started collecting statements from family and friends. Determined to trace her last known interactions, they probed into who had recently spoken to or seen the missing girl. Linda and Emily affirmed their lack of contact with Wilma since November 14th, with their calls remaining unanswered. Joining forces, a search party was orchestrated, blending police efforts with the support of friends and family and utilizing police dogs and drone technology, which scoured inaccessible areas for any trace. When authorities approached Tishko, he claimed and asserted that he had no knowledge of Wilma's whereabouts, and neither had he gotten any recent communication from her. By Sunday, November 17th, 3 days into the search, the worrying silence from Wilma still pervaded. Wilma, who was typically active on social media, had now gone dark for an alarming stretch. The urgency intensified as around 5,000 people banded together, fervently joining the search in a collective effort to find her. The police persisted, returning to Tishko in pursuit of information, but he still staunchly maintained his stance, insisting on his ignorance about Wilma's whereabouts. His claim suggested that after their breakup, she had moved on to another man. However, this supposed narrative lacked any substantiated evidence, leaving her friends and family baffled and in the dark. Concurrently, Wilma's family revealed a distressing narrative to the authorities. They lamented how their daughter's life took a drastic downturn since her involvement with Tishko Ahmed, painting a grim contrast to her once vibrant and sociable self. Linda unveiled the pervasive control Tishko exerted over her, dictating her every move and scrutinizing her whereabouts. Emily disclosed Wilma's unsettling revelations, where she admitted to Tishko's violent behavior in the final stages of their relationship. Despite the tumult, Wilma still harbored a deep affection for Tishko. Tishko had gone to extreme lengths by even installing a GPS device on Wilma's phone, granting him relentless surveillance over her whereabouts at any given moment he wanted to. A trail of text messages between Wilma and Tishko displayed the haunting reality of his controlling nature. Among them, an exchange from a previous argument revealed Wilma's plea, which when translated said, "Contact me when you think you can trust me," which was met with Tishko's retort, "Contact me when you know your place." The police, intent on uncovering the truth, delved into Tishko's final movements. Tishko adamantly claimed he hadn't left the apartment after arriving home from work at 5 p.m. Authorities wanted to make sure he was telling the truth and therefore retraced Tishko's movements by tracking his phone's GPS. A CCTV footage had captured Tishko at a supermarket around 2:30 p.m. on the day Wilma disappeared. He then returned home from work by 5 p.m. Neighbors recounted a heated, escalating argument between the couple at around 6 p.m., an occurrence not uncommon, but this one was louder than the usual ones. Concerned, one neighbor ventured to check on them, only to encounter an eerie silence just as they neared to knock on the apartment door. No one was arguing anymore. It was dead silent. This strange silence prompted unease, but the neighbor, confused what to do next, just retreated to their apartment. The police, meticulously piecing together Tishko's movements, extended their investigation to his workplace and the company vehicle he used, requesting forensic testing on it. The GPS in the car revealed his movements from Thursday the 14th to Monday the 18th. The GPS log indicated visits to clients interspersed with returns to his own residence throughout his usual work hours during those days. On the day of the heated argument, Tishko's phone revealed that he left his apartment around 6:30 p.m. As dusk settled, witnesses spotted him striding along the freeway, a solitary figure shrouded in an all-black attire. The passing motorcyclist painted a picture of Tishko, describing him as visibly distant, lost in his thoughts. Law enforcement intercepted Tishko and escorted him back home. Upon questioning, Tishko explained his aim was to catch a train, but changed course, opting for a contemplative walk home instead. Oddly, while the police made a mental note of this encounter, an official report was never filed, leaving a puzzling gap in the recorded events. On November 19, 2019, the unfolding drama led to Tishko's arrest. There were visible scratches on his forearms. A search of his apartment unearthed eerie clues. Wilma's belongings, her bag and coat, hung in place. More discoveries awaited investigators that Tuesday night as her shoes and eyeglasses were also found. Linda emphasized her daughter's attachment to her bag, heightening the intrigue. Forensics delved into the scene with Blue Star, an advanced version of luminol, revealing a macabre trail. Bloodstains splattered across walls and floors in every room, hinting at a violent struggle that echoed throughout the apartment. A sinister narrative emerged as investigators pieced together the horror. Traces of blood trailed from the living room to the bedroom, painting a haunting picture of something being dragged. Even the bed bore a grim imprint, a haunting shape of a torso, highlighted by the revealing glow of Blue Star. The discovery of muscle tissue on a knife and splattered across the living room wall only added to the gruesome mosaic. The sheer volume of blood found suggested a scene of such violence that survival seemed improbable. Outside the apartment, the search continued, unearthing trash bags bearing Tishko's bedding, smeared with telltale bloodstains. Confronted at the police station, Tishko was presented with the damning evidence, to which he swiftly denied any knowledge, adamantly stating that he would be aware of any significant bloodshed in his own home. Meanwhile, the quest to find Wilma intensified, with an ever-growing throng of individuals rallying daily, determined to aid in her search, fueling hope amidst the encroaching darkness of the unfolding tragedy. The apartment where Wilma was last seen turned into a stark crime scene, yet all attempts to establish contact with her remained fruitless. Then, on November 28th, 2 weeks since Wilma vanished without a trace, cadaver dogs were enlisted for assistance at the crime scene. These trained canines are specialized in detecting scents associated with deceased individuals. As they ventured into the bedroom, the dogs swiftly signaled a chilling indication. A deceased person or human remains had likely been in that very area. Moreover, a distinct odor permeated the apartment, heightening the grim atmosphere. Despite prior searches, the police meticulously re-examined the bedroom. Drawn to the area marked by the dogs, their focus honed in on a wardrobe, seemingly just another piece of furniture in the room. Yet, within that innocuous wardrobe lay a small travel case, seemingly inconspicuous among the room's contents. Although previously overlooked, the officers, driven by instinct, seized the case, poised to uncover its secrets. Inside, investigators discover a large object concealed within aluminum kitchen foil, a harrowing revelation met with bloodstains in the case's interior. As they cautiously unravel the foil's contents, a heart-wrenching and shocking reality awaits them. Wilma's decapitated head lay shrouded within. The head had been wrapped meticulously and bound with tape. The travel case, a repository of the horrifying events that had happened to Wilma, was dispatched to Gothenburg's forensic labs for further testing. Detailed examination revealed Tishko's fingerprints, an ominous connection tying him to the heinous act. Moreover, at the crime scene where the discarded trash bags were recovered, a footprint, infused with Wilma's blood, bore the unmistakable imprint of Tishko. The grim findings laid bare the brutality of the crime. Pathologists, while unable to conclusively determine the cause of Wilma's death, identified severe head and eye injuries inflicted by blunt force trauma. The gruesome nature of her decapitation caused further injuries that she had suffered to her head. Wilma's devastated family received the shattering truth of their daughter's fate. Linda, fueled by an unyielding resolve, joined the search efforts, no longer seeking their missing loved one, but sadly scouring for the rest of Wilma's remains. The family, thrust into the darkest of nightmares, confronted the gruesome details emerging from the evidence discovered within the apartment's walls. A ghastly revelation emerged. Wilma's final moments likely occurred in the living room, where she suffered a brutal assault, her world shattered by a devastating blow to the head, leaving a haunting echo of violence in its wake. The Swedish authorities filed a report that detailed Tishko's denial of Andersson's murder, vehemently asserting his innocence. His unsettling statement echoed, insisting on a warped sense of affection which he claimed, "You forget that this is a girl that I have loved, and that I have lived my life perfectly. If I had murdered my girl, I would not have saved her head." Law enforcement had secured ample evidence to press charges against Tishko, and his trial was set for May 2020. However, Wilma's body remained undiscovered throughout the entire court proceedings. Shahbaz, devoid of any display of remorse or emotion, stood stoic amidst the relentless investigation. Reports surfaced, painting a disturbing picture of his beliefs. Allegations that he viewed his ex-girlfriend as a figure of malevolence, associating her with Satan and espousing outlandish claims of her collaboration with Democrats against the then US President, Donald Trump. His bizarre hero worship of the president even led to a failed attempt to join Trump's campaign, halted due to inadequate entry documents. Attempts to plead not guilty by reason of insanity during the trial by citing these absurd beliefs and claims of Wilma as proof of insanity by his defense fell short, as on July 27, 2020, the verdict sealed Tishko's fate. The court pronounced 23-year-old Tishko Shahbaz Ahmed guilty of 17-year-old Wilma Andersson's murder, handing down a life sentence, which was later reduced to 18 years by the Court of Appeal. The baffling reduction of the sentence stemmed from the absence of concrete evidence pinpointing the exact cause of Wilma's demise, or the sequence of events due to the absence of her body, a haunting absence that left critical questions unanswered, hindering the pursuit of justice. In late 2020, Wilma's funeral brought a solemn closure to this tragic saga, a heart-wrenching conclusion that undoubtedly plunged Wilma's family into unfathomable sorrow. Our deepest sympathies go out to the life lost too soon and the grieving loved ones she left behind. If this video resonated with you, give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe to stay updated on our latest content. Thank you for tuning in.